Internet, and welcome to episode 205 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, a.k.a. the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. It's my nose. I failed you. I failed myself. I don't blame you if you unsubscribe after I tell you what I did, or more specifically, what I did not do last night. I'm a failure to myself. I'm a failure to the community, to the society, to humanity. And all I can do is try to become a better person today and tomorrow and going forward. But last night was utter failure. It's weird because last night started out very productive. Night ended unproductive, started productive. I was out. I was doing some filming. I have this narration, short film, video that's been percolating in my head. So I've been filming periodically the last few months. It's starting to come together. I almost have all the footage, so it will be out in the next few weeks. Hopefully, if I don't kick the bucket. There goes that sign. Anyway, so I was doing filming for that. And then after I did the filming, I went out, I did stand-up comedy. So I went out twice to do the filming and then the stand-up comedy. Had a great comedy set. Not great, but it made people smile, made people giggle. That makes me feel good. You get a little bit of that buzz. When you have a set where you make people giggle and laugh out loud, as a comedian, you get a high. That's why I do it. I do it for me, not for you. Anyway, so after that, I had a high. I hadn't walked much throughout the day because I work from home on my laptop or my company's laptop in my bedroom. Let's walk around a little bit. So I walked around. It was about high 30s, which for January is a pleasant temperature for nighttime. It was dry. There was I had a little giddiness to me after having a positive set in the basement doing stand-up comedy. So I'm walking around, but I'm doing it with intent. I'm not just walking to walk. I'm looking in restaurants and shops and stores to see who's out on a Tuesday night. Not many people out. There were no games on TV, but I go down one street, no one's out. It's very, very sparse. Restaurants are sparse. Barely anybody there. Another street, see some fatties talking outside of Bar Taco. They're fatties. I don't want anything to do with that. I keep walking. I take a left, a sharp left. They have new pavement there, new sidewalk, so there's a lot of room. And I'm enjoying the room. I'm moving my arms a little bit more than I normally do because the sidewalks are wider now. So I feel like I'm loose. I'm loose, right? I'm loose. I'm feeling good. I'm getting the blood flow through my body because I'm getting my steps in for the evening. And I'll go past this. I go to the end of the street. There's a stop sign. Before the stop sign, there's a restaurant. I'm not really sure what this place is. Fancy people go there. It's a restaurant. It's a very tight, almost a cocktail bar. I'm not really sure what to describe it. It's not the sidewalk with the extra space. It's very tight in there. So I don't like being in there. I hardly ever go in there. But there were some babes in there. There were 4 babes, like 2 groups of 2. And then there was also a babe with a guy at the window looking out towards the street. But the 4 babes were at the bar, which was like a straight bar, and their backs were to me. So I did not know what they looked like. I didn't see their face, but I should have went inside and said hello to them. Or said, I should have tried to spit game, to have the riz, to give these babes my aura, to try to engage with one of them and potentially get my penis wet in one of them, and then have a thing, a dalliance with one of these 4 babes. Now, obviously, it's not going to be all 4. The B-Man, I don't have that kind of aura, but maybe they're 2 separate groups of 2. Obviously, I should have went in, gotten a drink, maybe a Sprite, maybe a beer. Who knows? And then I should have kind of observed, okay, which of the 4 do I target? And then go into one of those 2 groups of 2 and try to, do this with them. I did not do that. I was outside on the street in the late high 30s temperature, pleasant, but cold. But for January, it's tolerable. But I stood there, I looked at them and go, oh, I should go inside and force these babes to say no. See, no means no. But with the babe, you gotta force her to say no. You gotta take life by the balls and force people to say no to you. And I didn't do that last night. And that's what I mean when I say I'm a failure. See, I turtled up. I became, I looked outside. I thought I should go in there. I should try to chat these babes up. I thought that. I did not act on my thought. See, the reason why we're here right now, the reason why you're listening, the reason why you're watching Verbal Graffiti, because I had the thought of Verbal Graffiti in my head. It came here and I acted on it and I turned it into something that is now at episode 205. See, there could be a point in the future with one of those 4 babes, if I fancied them, when I saw their face, like, wow, that's hot. I'd like to, I'd like to face fuck her, where we might have been on date 205. We might have went out 205 times if I had the courage to force her to say no. I did not. I turtled. I go, I should do that, but I didn't act. And the reason, and that is what makes me a failure. And if you unsubscribe to Verbal Graffiti and me because of that, I can't blame you. Honestly, I want to unsubscribe myself because I had that thought. I should have went inside that little tight confined area and been a nuisance to one of the 2 groups of 2 babes. I should have been a nuisance. I should have ruined their evening. I should have made for several minutes make their evening uncomfortable. Not purposely, but sometimes. See, I do believe if one of those 2 babes or those 4 babes in 2 groups of 2, then I would have made one of their lives better. It would have been more fulfilling. In all aspects of life, their life would have been more lively. They would have been my muse. It could have been something could have fermented if I acted on that curse. Now, most likely they would have given me a look like, who the fuck are you? Out knowing that I'm the B-man. You can't blame them for giving me that look when they don't really know I'm the B-man. So. That's normally what happens. What are you doing? Who are you? Why are you interrupting us? But hey, maybe it would have turned into something magical, something lovely, love. It did not happen though, because I was a big old pussy, a big old sniz, a dirty sniz that no one wants a part of. And I don't want part of myself because I did not act on that. But I promise you, next time I walk by that bar and there's someone in there that maybe I fancy, I'm going to act on my thoughts. And then if she rejects me, I'll tell you about it. Because we're all about improvement in 2026. And again, 2026 is not our year. It is not. Maybe 2027, probably not, but definitely not 2026. So next time I go in there, see, I'm going to get rejected. But at least I forced her hand into rejecting me. That is the goal. Now, I didn't do that last night. Going forward, I need to be better. I need to be a better man. I got to make people's lives more uncomfortable to make my life better because it's all about your life. Nobody else's life matters but your own. That's the takeaway. Those 4, 2 groups of 2, their evenings were probably lovely. I would have dampened their evening for a few minutes. But maybe something would have come of it. And now I don't know. They don't know. They don't even know I'm talking about them. But it's in my head. Because I don't know what the interaction would have gone like. So I'm thinking, well, what would have happened if, and I don't want to be in a position where it happened. Well, what would have happened? I want to be able to tell you what happened. But nothing happened because I was a big old pussy. I failed you last night. But stand-up comedy, I got on stage and I made people laugh. So, real life, I don't know how to do. On stage, the B-man fucks. All right, moving forward. This next one, another thing too. Before we move on. Last week, I was on this show, Verbal Graffiti, this project. It's not just a show, it's a project. It does kind of, it does kind of mess up how I talk on stage. Because last week there were two babes in the crowd, and instantly I just called them dumb bitches. I go, you dumb bitches. You've been laughing all night. I meant it to be funny, sarcastic, playful, but I think it came across as mean spirited because the entire set was super awkward. And I real so sometimes on the show, I'm sorry, this project, I'll just talk about baby, I'll just dumb bitch, and I should come up with a more creative adjective term to refer to dumb bitches as. But sometimes I use negative words, terms to describe people here at Verbal Graffiti, and but there's no audience. You're the audience, but you're not here right now. So if I call someone a dumb bitch, you kind of know my personality, and you know it's kind of in jest and part of my sarcasm. But when I get on stage, and the very first thing I say to a room full of strangers is, "Oh, these two are dumb bitches," they don't really know who I am yet. Again, that's a rookie mistake comedy. I gotta wait till I'm longer in my set before I call audience members dumb bitches. Because I ain't gonna stop calling audience members dumb bitches. I just, because of this project, sometimes I'm a little too free to say something like that too quickly on stage. Okay. I'm learning. I'm trying to become better. Failing at becoming better, but trying. All right. Upwards and back to Reddit. This one comes from the subreddit Ask Men Over 40. That'd be me. Is it acceptable for a 40-year-old man to allow his mom to do his laundry every weekend? For some context, I have a 40-year-old male friend, and his mom does his laundry every weekend when he visits them. He is a homeowner and has a washer dryer that works just fine. He claims that she likes to do it, but I think that's irrelevant. Would love to hear what y'all think on this. For further context, he is single and has been for 90% of his adult life. Edit. I could have phrased it differently. It doesn't matter if it's acceptable or not. That's their business, as many of you have said, and I agree with this. I guess I'm wondering whether it's a contributor to a larger issue at play. Him not having full autonomy from his mother at his age. I'm laughing on the inside. This one made me giggle because if I'm not mistaken, this post almost could have been written about myself, about me. Because my mom does my laundry. But the only difference between me and this 40-year-old John, who brings his laundry home every weekend for his mom to do, is that my mom does my laundry multiple times a week. I live at home. I am that guy. And I'm here to tell you, if you're doing your laundry, you're doing life wrong. I've never done my laundry my entire life. All right? My parents did my laundry when I was a kid. When I started college, my college roommate's girlfriend did my laundry. When I transferred to UConn, I had my laundry commuted to my sister's house somehow. She did my laundry. And since college, for the most part, my mom's done my laundry. Now, I do the laundry sometimes as well, but my mom does my laundry most of the time. And even when I lived in New York City, I had the Asian ladies at the laundromat. They did my laundry for me. So at every stage of life, I've had someone else do my laundry for me. And again, I think I'm living life wrong. Now, I get this lady's point. There is probably nobody. There's one thing Americans can agree on. It's that it's not even a dislike. It really is a hatred towards the adult guy who lives with his mom. And that is me. And I feel that. You feel it more in your 20s and your early 30s, but I've gotten past that. That you're going to judge me for living with my mom. It's like, what does that mean? Like, oh, you don't respect me because I live with my mom, because I don't, for some reason, being an adult, a lot of people think is, well, I gotta give $200,000 in interest to a bank so I could live in this plot of land in this house that I pay every month to, but I don't actually own. And I get it. I think it's anger, but it's not so much anger at me or the guys that still live with their mom. I think it's more that the anger masks the jealousy. Because we all know adulthood is hard. I've tried living on my own. I don't like it. I get lonely. Think about it. I'd rather have a roommate who loves me and who I love, and that's my mom, than have a random roommate that you get off of Craigslist, or maybe you live with a friend of yours and they don't do their dishes and dishes stack up in the sink, and they leave their clothes, and in the living room they leave cups in the living room, and they're playing their music loud, and they're bringing home strangers every weekend to fuck, and it's all, it's like, I'm sorry. I'd rather live with somebody who I have a good relationship with and we respect than an antagonist relationship where we're both splitting the rent, because I don't make enough money to live on my own. Ain't up. I can't afford a mortgage. And that's the thing. I think that's where the jealousy comes from. Like, I don't pay a mortgage. I don't pay to live in my mom's basement. Like I'm mooching off of her. But like I always tell my mom, like, she's lucky that I'm living with her. And what I mean by that is it's only me. And she should be thankful for that. You know how easily it would be for the B-man to go up and knock up some sniz and have a baby living in her house? Or to start dating a single mom with her toddler and have the toddler and my girlfriend living here at my mom's house? I don't do that. Occasionally I go out and get some sniz. But I'm not bringing one of those home permanently. And my mom should be thankful for that. That it's only me. That there aren't any kids that I produce or have another lady's produce mooching off of my mom as well through me. It's only me. And that's why my mom should, be thankful every day that it's only the B-man living here with her. But that not paying the mortgage, adulthood is difficult. The mortgage, the insurance, the rent, child care, daycare, all the bills, having to go on vacation with your girlfriend or your wife and all that. And all those, and you save for a college education and all that. It's stressful. And when you have somebody in your life that kind of bypasses that and just kind of mooches off their parents and doesn't move away, instinctively, there's an anger and there's a judgment. Like, well, I had to do this. I moved on. I moved out. Why aren't you doing that? You're less of a human being. You're less of an adult than I am. Now, you may be right. But again, what does that judgment, what does that do? Like, if I moved out and then you say, okay, I respect you. But what does that respect give me? Nothing. It doesn't give me money, doesn't pay my rent, doesn't pay my insurance, doesn't pay my student loan. It's just respect. So I want to move out, live with roommates that I don't love, have a standard of living that is subpar than I have living with my mom. And I'm going to do all that, be in a worse predicament so that some stranger or some friend of mine that I know respects me. I don't know. Like, that just doesn't seem, well, your respect gives me nothing. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not out here trying to get the respect of some babe who spent $200 on a butterfly tattoo on her inner thigh. Like, that's not what that's not what the B-man's about. That's not what any of you should be about. But it is, life's hard. And I think it's funny when you are the guy living at home with your mom. That stereotype. Oh, the guy who's living in his mom's basement? Ain't up. I'm me. I'm that stereotypical guy. Do know that when you say that, you're talking about the B-man. And honestly, you do feel some shame living at home, but you get past it. You get past it. At least I know I have. Like, I'm doing stuff. I'm not drunk. Maybe I'm a bit of a drunk, but I'm not an alcoholic. You work. You make a little bit of money. Not enough. Not enough. I make nearly, $60,000 a year pre-tax. Like, that's not enough to live on my own, to be able to afford a mortgage and car payment and all that jazz. So, yeah, I mooch off my mom. And honestly, we have a pretty good relationship. She does my laundry. It's great. See this cake right here? I brought this here on purpose. This cake, this little crumb cake, my mom made this for me. Right? That's great. That's living right there. If you're not living with somebody who makes you some cake, makes you a pie, who doesn't do your laundry for you, if you're living with someone who doesn't do this stuff for you, move out. Move back in with your mom. Move back in with somebody who does. If you're living with someone right now and that person doesn't do your laundry, why are you living with that person? Get out. Get out. Move out. Move in with somebody who can, who will do your laundry. Honestly, I'd be furious if I lived with somebody and they didn't do my laundry. There are two types of people in life. There are those who do laundry and those who do not. The B-man, I'm somebody who does not. And those who have others do their laundry for them are winners. I'm a winner. What say you? You don't want you don't respect me for that? Fine. I have a love. And here's the funny thing with babes despise men who live with their parents. You want to call me Peter Pan, whatever you call me, but the truth is, women respect slave owners more than they do men who live with their moms. It's the truth. If you tell any babe, hey, you could be with a guy who lives with his mom, or this guy who has some slaves who are black, which one would you rather date? They take the slave owner from the 1700s 10 out of 10 times. There's no exception to the rule. I think even a babe who lives with her parents will judge a guy who lives with her parents. But go ahead, judge me. What? I'm not going to move out because of your judgment. Sorry. I'm going to mooch till my mom isn't here to mooch me anymore. Honestly, I'd probably still, if my dad was still alive, I'd be mooching off of him as well. I'm still driving his car. The one that he was driving when he died, or that he had when he died, I'm still driving that now. So I'm mooching off of my dead dad who died 11 plus years ago and my living mom. Am I an adult? I'm balding, so I guess I am. I don't know. It's just, hey, it is funny because I read the reply to this statement or this post, and they all flogged this guy. They thought it was embarrassing, that he was subhuman, that absolutely 100% you should not be having your mom do your laundry on the weekend. And to that, I said, well, fuck, I'm living with my mom. She's doing my laundry a few days a week. So honestly, the commenters on Reddit don't think too highly of the B-man in this Project Verbal Graffiti. But again, I live with my mom. We have a lovely relationship. There's a pool here. I swim every day during the summer, work on my tan. What say you? Let's go. Oh, actually, I made a video, not the one I mentioned in the opening, but I made a short film kind of thing. Hopefully I have it all together. Let's go take a look at it right now. You will drink your sister's cup, a cup large and deep. It will bring scorn and derision, for it holds so much. You will be filled with drunkenness and sorrow, the cup of ruin and desolation, the cup of your sister Say Maria. You will drink it and drain it dry, and chew on its pieces, and you will tear your breasts. Since you have forgotten me and turned your back on me, you must bear the consequences of your lewdness and prostitution. Thank you for watching that short film that I just put together. And if I do not release it in this episode, I will be deleting this segment right here. But again, I believe I'm going to call this film, whatever it is you want to call it, About Last Night, maybe. We're playing around with the title. This one took me a while to make. 7 or 8 nights. It was all different locations. Some in New Haven, some in Wallingford, Connecticut. Some in my mom's house and with lighting. And I remember there was one night prior to Christmas, I was driving around all of Wallingford looking for a high point overlooking the town with lots of lights where I could light a fire and burn all the evidence after my murder. And I just couldn't find one with the right vision. And then I went to this place called East Rock in New Haven, but they block it off after sunset. So I had to find a different location. Actually, I loved the place I found. I'm not going to disclose everywhere. But yeah, it took me a while. Just finding locations to film and then doing the actual filming late at night. It was fun. And it was frigid. Most of the nights I filmed, I specifically wanted to go out on nights where it was below 20 degrees so that you could easily see my breath and the coldness on my face. I wanted that visual for the films because I don't move my camera, so I like to have a little bit of action in the scene that makes up for not having the movement because I'm filming everything myself on a tripod, so I don't, I just wanted to be a little bit more cinematic. colorful, something you're actually looking at. Anyway, I did learn a few things filming this one. A, I do not like being out in the cold. B, it's really easy to dump a body in the Long Island Sound. Honestly, I was out there with a fake body. I put there some clothes, filled them up, wrapped up. You saw the video. Basically, I was pulling that down a pier in New Haven, and nobody came to stop me. And I was petrified that there was going to be a police boat. I believe I did see one, a police boat that kind of went by, but I was worried that they were going to stop me and arrest me or, interrogate me. But no, they didn't stop me at all. There were a couple of people who were parked where I parked my car. No one came out and said anything to me. And it was very clear that I had what appeared to be a dead body wrapped up in black garbage bags. And no one stopped me. There was no one out there. There were clearly bodies, that are dumped in the Long Island Sound. And now I know if I ever murder somebody, which I'm not looking to do, but if I did, the Long Island Sound may be a place where you could dump a body. And there are cameras at the pier I was at, but again, if you just as long as you don't park there, so they don't get your license plate and you cover your face, go there after midnight, New Haven, Bridgeport, somewhere along the Sound, and you could easily dump a body. That was fun to know. And also I was worried about lighting. I don't know how to light a fire. I do not know. There was a scene in the film, if you haven't watched it, where I'm trying to burn the evidence. So I have a garbage can. I put wood in there. I had lighter fluid, and I threw matches on it. I could not get the fire started. I had everything you need for a fire. I had a garbage can. I had actual firewood. I had, gasoline, kerosene, and I could not get the light on fire. I am not a survivalist. You put me in the woods, I have to survive in the cold for a week. I die within 48 hours. All right. You give me a lighter, or you give me housing, I'd still find a way to die. I am metro as they come. I need electricity. I need housing. I'm not rubbing rocks together, starting sparks and getting a flame and cooking deer that I kill. I'm going to the grocery store. I'm buying my food there. I'm coming home to my mom's house, and I'm using her electricity. So that was a film. And, I had to come up with some new ideas because I'm all out of movie ideas. We'll see what the mind comes up to. I think okay, I'm kind of rambling. Okay, I'm rambling. Just know that I'm trying to think of new film ideas. When it comes to me, it comes to me, and you'll see it when it does. All right, moving forward. All right, this one's very, very quick. Is it racist for white men not to find black women attractive? No, I don't think it's racist not to be attracted to black women as a white man. But again, take that with a grain of salt, because I also believe that you should be allowed to call your coworkers a cunt via Microsoft Teams. So maybe I'm not the best guy to be answering this question, but at least I'll give you an honest answer. I don't believe all right, I don't believe racism should be judged by your gooning and or dating habits. It should be judged by how you treat people as individuals. Because if you look at the dating app stats, which I have after I read this post, I go, well, what is the most sought after race on dating apps? And I don't know what the most sought after is probably white, but the least matched on dating apps, I'm not sure which one. Maybe it was Bumble or what's the other one? Hinge. It was on one of those sites. The least matched groups of people are black women and Asian men. So those in the world, you got to guess, those are the two groups of people that people don't least likely to want to fuck, are black women and Asian men. Now, personally, I believe the Asian men are having a bit of a glow up. This is just from doing field research. I go out, and Asian men are attractive, especially the ones who work out and are blessed to have a little bit of height. They have the wide faces, so they have the facial features, that square jaw. And if they take care of their body, the Asian men, they fuck. They're doing all right for themselves. But most Asian men are short and are unfuckable. So to you, I don't know what. But this is about black women. Honestly, yeah, I am not attracted to black women in general. Now, I've never been on a date with a black woman. Now, there was, I think 2 or 3 years ago, I did mutually masturbate with a black woman via FaceTime. So I make that what you will. I don't know. I don't know what that's all. Why did I just disclose that? Okay, moving forward. Yeah, so I've never been on a date with a black woman. In general, I don't find black women attractive. And as for the gooning, watching smut, I hardly ever finish to a black lady, black babe actress. There have been some light-skinned black women that I masturbate to. What's the fuck? Banks. Cassidy Banks was a porn star back in the day. I used to masturbate to. I think technically she's black, but she's more like light-skinned black. So she could kind of pass for Hispanic or just like really dark-skinned Italian. So, technically she's black. But in general, I'm not gooning to black ladies. I don't... Actually, I don't even like I don't think I don't really get off to black men fucking the races that I enjoy, which are typically white women, Hispanic women, and Asian women that are busty. Like, I don't goon the black guys fucking those types of babes. And so, like, does that make me racist? That I won't goon the black men fucking white ladies, and I won't goon to dark-skinned black lady smut? I don't think it does. Because, again, in public, I'll be cordial, I'll be friendly, I'll chop it up with anybody. All right? If you're black men, black ladies, I'm cool with you all. Just because I don't want to fuck you doesn't make me a racist. Just because I don't goon to your type doesn't make me a racist. I say that. You may say otherwise. Like, I am a bit of a racist, but I don't think my racism is because I don't goon to a black lady. Now, you make that. But you think of all the groups, most groups I don't goon to. When I'm watching smut, like I don't, obviously, black guys, fucking white women, I don't goon to that. I don't goon to anyone over the age of 35. I don't goon to flat-chested women, members of the itty-bitty titty community. I don't goon to 100% Asian. Like, I love Asian Americans, but babes that are 100% Asian, I'm not attracted to them either. So, and I don't goon to gay guys, the gays fucking gays. I don't goon to lesbian porn, babes on babes. So there are most groups I don't goon to. But again, in public, I will be cordial, begrudgingly, with a member of the itty bitty titty committee. Right? Like, I don't love flat-chested babes of any race, but I'll talk to you in public and be kind to you and not talk shit about you behind your back. So when you think about the people I goon to, there's a very small segment of the population. It's busty babes who are white, Asian, or Latina. But it's much like the world. In real life, most people are unfuckable. Most people don't want to fuck you. And in reality, most black women and women of most races and ethnicities don't want to fuck the B-man. They look at me and go, you're old, you're crusty, you're too pale, you look like you got cancer, you got a penis head. Nobody, I'm not going to touch you. And I don't consider them racist. They're just, they don't want to fuck the B-man. There's a lot of difference between not wanting to fuck me, not wanting to goon to me, and treating me subhuman. There's a big gap between those two. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying a lot, but that's one thing I'm saying. What? So is that right? There's this comedian. What's his name? Bert Kreischer. Very successful comedian, much more so than myself. He's on Netflix, all the major platforms, streaming services. He's a national touring success. He's successful, makes millions of dollars. I remember he did a podcast with a guest if you don't know, Bert Kreischer is married to a white woman, and Bert Kreischer himself, he's a white guy. And he was on a podcast with another comedian talking about how most of his life, he's been sleeping on Indian women. And how recently, and this was a couple years ago, that he was noticing how attractive Indian women are. And how it kind of occurred to him, wow, Indian women, they're so attractive. Now, he's partially correct, but he's mostly wrong. You see, most Indian women are ugly, are unfuckable, and that's the way with all races. Most black women, unfuckable. Most white women, unfuckable. Asian women, unfuckable. And it goes away with the men, too. See, the thing is, when Bert Kreischer was saying, I find Indian women attractive, he's like, yes, but no. See, Bert Kreischer finds attractive Indian women fuckable. And that's a distinction he didn't make that I'm making for him. Or that I'm putting a footnote to his statement. See, I don't find black women attractive. Nor do I find Indian women attractive. But the objectively attractive, a black lady or Indian woman or Asian girl or Polynesian, they're fuckable. But it's like that. It's like that way across any race or ethnicity or culture or people. It's like most of you are unfuckable. But the very, very top of let's say black or Asian are fuckable. So when Bert Kreischer says, I think Indian women are attractive, it's like, yeah, no, you don't. You just find the attractive Indian women attractive. And I don't know if there's any way to prove this, but throughout history and up to today, there are more intra-racial relationships than there are interracial relationships. So I don't know the science behind that, but I gotta think. I don't have to think, but the science or the results would suggest that, like, I'm white, so I probably find more white women attractive than I do black women attractive or any other race. And if you're a black guy, you probably find more black women attractive than a white guy would find attractive. I mean, it goes that way with every race, with each race. I don't know. For some reason, you usually recreate it within your own. Now, does that make every single race racist? It's like, no, there's probably some science, cultural, genetics that have to do with that. It's too smart for the B-man to know, but I just point, hey, if there's more intra-racial relationships, there's probably something to that. Well, there's something else, too. Hey, so don't judge the B-man. Well, you're probably going to judge me by my gooning habits. But again, honestly, with white women, most white women aren't attractive either. Most white women are hideous. It's only like the top of the top white that I find fuckable. So yeah, don't judge people. Don't judge racism by who you date and who you fuck. Racism is how you treat people. And I treat everybody pretty shitty, so I guess I'm not racist. I'm a little bit of a racist, but I'm much more of a horrendous person all around. Oh, and by the way, this cake that my mom made for me, I live with my mom, lovely, tastes fantastic. Find yourself a roommate that will cook for you. It's the best. Go suck a fat one.